tennis has a new star.
He's beaten Djokovic, the six-time champion.
Just 19 years of age.
I don't think about tennis 24/7, but I think about what's necessary for my tennis 24/7. I make the choices for my tennis.
Holger Rune!
This guy's the real deal. One of the biggest games on the ATP Tour, full of confidence.
What have you made of his attitude?
We all feel the pressure, but I like it. I mean, I handle it well, sometimes I don't, but I try to do as best as I can.
He's getting fired up.
Incredible drama.
Holger Rune is so confident.
When you're young, you have so much fire, you want to do crazy things, but you just go out there and you grind.
My goodness.
First Masters 1000 title, top 10 in the world, and he's done it beating 5 top 10 players.
Second title of your career so far.
Obviously, I'm not the best in the world yet, but I believe that I can, and I'm getting closer to it every time, and this motivates me a lot.
I'm the one who can beat this guy, I'm the one who can win this tournament, I'm the one who can be number one. You really have to believe it.
What does it mean to you?
It's a young boy's dreams coming true, right in front of our eyes.
From a young age to be so disciplined is very hard, so it's a good story.
First of all, I want to start off thanking my team so much, my mom, Lars, my coach, and also my family back home.
He's always been a big dreamer, and he always seen things that other people might think is impossible. He's always said that's something he can reach.
Obsessive about his tennis, very ambitious, wants to be the best in the world, wants to beat the best in the world.
If you try to see always the big picture rather than the small picture, you kind of understand more why I have to do this. Without tennis, I'm sure I wouldn't have the same mentality as I have today, so it's kind of built who I am. I fell in love with it from the beginning.
He is a happy boy. He was super active always.
He started to play tennis when he was 6.
You know, slowly it was very natural that my mom and my father, they sent me to tennis because they also sent my sister there.
We practiced a lot together. Like in Denmark, there's not a rich culture of elite tennis, so my mom would book a court and we would just practice until it was dark in the evening.
We left them there and thought, okay, now we have 1 hour where they can play tennis, and after 5 minutes the phone was ringing. Elmer's cheating on the lines. No, it's not.
When it was close, you know, she was cheating a little bit, I was maybe cheating a bit because we were so competitive.
I can't say I'm completely innocent because I also really want to win, but he wasn't older than 12, I think, before he started beating me.
Even though they went bananas if they lost, they could laugh at the same time because they felt the same.
Is it safe to play board games in the Rouge Fountain?
Elma actually said before that it would be really authentic if we start to argue now.
Yeah.
I'm the less competitive in the family.
Right, so you're like the peacemaker.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly, because Annika is also very competitive.
I just pretend not to be.
You know, I think normal parents and normal family would go like, go do your education and then, you know, you see how far you go there. But that's not possible if you want to be the best in the world. You have to sacrifice a few things, friends, parties, being to birthdays and stuff, and the whole family was willing to do that.
Yeah, very sort of understated type character, but there's a little switch that goes, it seems, within him, and you know, these guys just want to win so badly.
I was teaching a group of children, and he was one of the kids. I was having most of these kids coming like 3 times a week, and I would go every Monday. I would start with a new theme, a technical theme. My plan was, you know, to introduce the theme. Then on Wednesday we'll work a little bit more on it, and on Friday hopefully some of them are gonna get it. By Holger, when I introduced the theme on Monday, when he came back on Wednesday, he would do it to perfection. I started working with him when he was only 7 years old, and I've been with him ever since.
It's wild because, you know, when you know each other for so long and you're not family, it's not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah. The big work started when he was like 12, 13 years old, and he was pretty lazy at that time, and he didn't really want to move so much.
He was a bit chubby as a little kid and loved cake, still does.
Now, if he wanted to compete with the best and keep pursuing his dreams, he had to be a better mover. I would go every day, I would have drills set up for him, and he hated it, and he hated me when I was doing it, but I just kept going, day after day after day after day. Keep repeating the right things, keep repeating your right routines. So when you go into match days, having the right routines, having the right warm-up routines. And
when you see now, I thank him for that, because you have to be like this. Now we play best of 5 sets in some tournaments, and if you go like this, it's tough to maintain the good level.
Holger Rune, he's a big guy, 6'2", he's really powerful, strong legs.
By the time he gets good at it, he starts liking it really much, and some of the drills that we used to do when he was a youngster, he still wants those drills, just to feel the exhaustion, to feel that he gets out of breath and that he can move fast and be on top of his game even when he's pressed, so.
Depends on the person, but I really enjoy that I have, programs and stuff, and on the tour we have that all the time. There's practice, matches, everything, and I feel like on the tour you learn so much. It's crazy. I mean, I even learned English. Hello guys, this is Holger Rune. What are we doing here today?
We're doing photography, video, some stuff with our uncovered.
Yeah, nice. I'm excited to do it.
Because he looks all calm and collected, but he's got in trouble with the umpires a couple of times in the past.
He's so lucky!
In these moments, it's very easy to stress, and that's a normal reaction. When you're under pressure, you stress.
I'm sure that's something that as time goes on and as he matures, he'll overcome and learn to control. But
it's a challenge for every young player, I guess.
I think he's really fearless, and that makes me really proud.
Brick by brick, we're building up a wall around him, so he's going to be so much better on that in the future as well.
He's a very open kid. He will never get stressed or depressed or anything because he put words on how he feels.
So this is from my wonderful fans that I think it was after I lost the match where they said, "Keep your head high, Holger, the future's yours." It cheers you up, and you really appreciate how much they support you, and actually that they're willing to send you a message is really nice.
Holger, I think you're going to run out of room if you keep winning.
When I look back and I look at them, they mean a lot because they put so much work into it. And if I just, throw them away, you kind of forget it a little bit more. So now I have a memory of so many good tournaments and good moments. So that's why I keep them.
What's the plan?
It's to get another room, hopefully. And the plan is to keep winning, and the room size is not going to stop me.
I'm sure it won't be the last big trophy he gets his hands on.
Where's the Rafa forehand? Okay. Any serves?
Yeah, Roger.
Okay. Love it, love it.
He's always found inspiration in a lot of the players on tour when he was younger. And when he started, Rafa was #1 on the ranking. Holger was dressed up in sleeveless and bandana and woohoo. Then he played his first tournament, and he was a finalist. He was the winner, and he went bananas. And we tried to, calm him down and say it's okay and go take your trophy. So we had to take it home in the bag. And when he came to his room, he said, "Take down Rafa." At that time, Rafa was #2 and Roger was #1. And he said, "Put up Roger." And then he changed his outfit. He was in polo, he was in Wilson bracket, everything was changed. And he said, "I never want to be #2. It's the worst."
It might be good enough for some players, but I've always wanted to be #1 in everything I do.
Holger, would you describe yourself as a perfectionist?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. I am, especially on the practice court. Match court, not as much, which is good.
Why do you say it's good that you're not a perfectionist on the match court?
Because I feel like on the match it's not about how it looks and how you hit the ball, it's more about finding solution to win. If you feel it well, it's great. If you don't, you still have to win. So you have to find solution. And if you're a perfectionist and try to hit the perfect shot while you're not playing well, I mean, it's just a matter of time before you lose. I look a little bit on who I'm playing tactically. We talk a little bit before the match and how I'm going to play and how I'm going to do mentally in this match. But then I try to put very little focus on the opponent because he's doing his thing. It's about me and how I'm gonna handle this. And then I just go for it and try to play the tennis on my terms. And when I do that, I have a big chance to win. I've been better to be calm in important moments because if you're stressed out, it's tough to make the shots that you want to make. We all feel the pressure, but I like it. I mean, I handle it well, sometimes I don't, but I try to do as best as I can.
Magical tennis.
On the court, it's cool to see a good fight, and almost all of the men's players, when you finish the match, they're like good battle man, and then you move on. I think this is very good for tennis.
It's nice to go to the trusted team, but I think the tour has a good energy.
I would say it's not just one thing, it's a lot of things. It's tennis things, mental things, physical things. It just all added up together and got to another level. That came because I really worked hard every day. They don't come overnight, it comes slowly, and all of a sudden it's clicking, and it did that in the end of the season.
It's a moment that he's worked so hard for, him and his coach, his family.
There is not like one point where you say, wow, now you can become a professional tennis player.
Of course you believe in your kids, but it's during the process you see it. And it's getting more and more real.
I read a quote from you saying, "One day I will be #1." What gives you that confidence?
I am obsessed with tennis for sure. If you want to be the greatest player that you can be and you don't breathe the sport, I don't think it's possible.
Want to become the very best in your sport? You're never going to reach it if you don't have that drive. I mean, everybody can have a good career in sports, but they're never going to be world #1. It's not going to happen in any sport. So you have to be a little bit, call it crazy, or you have to be super ambitious and you really have to believe it.
Where do you think that drive and that obsession comes from? And do you think it's something that you get from your family or something else from within?
I mean, it must come from somewhere. This energy, my mom has a very big role in everything she goes into and has helped me a lot on the way. She knows me so well to put me in the right mental stage to compete. And it's important to build the right team for you, and everybody's different. Everybody needs different persons, and I feel like I have built a very good team. I have super supportive coaches, family, and I'm very proud of how we're all developing.
I think it means a lot to both of us to have our family nearby and to prioritize to see each other when we're all home. It's really nice.
Yes, so we are at this very good restaurant, and I'm with the cousins, how do you call the other thing?
Cousins.
Cousins, yeah, cousins. What we ordered? I ordered a veal, so I'm staying healthy. Got tournaments coming up, so I might get a dessert still, but let's see how it's going. I don't think about tennis 24/7, but I think about what's necessary for my tennis 24/7. So I make the choices for my tennis, not the other way around. So if you see it that way, I do, yeah. It's kind of built who I am, if you can say so, because without tennis, I'm sure I wouldn't have the same mentality as I have today. So I thank tennis a lot. You feel different every day, and you're not as happy every day when you wake up, so you gotta stay disciplined, and the discipline is one of the most important things. That if you train good one day, it matters, but it doesn't really matter. I gotta see on the big picture that I have a big dream, and no matter how I feel, I wanna reach that dream, and the dream means more than how I feel on that certain day.
He has a plan A and a goal. He never really had a plan B, so it's all or nothing. He just goes completely for it.
I'm very young and I have the right people around me, so I feel like this is gonna be it. I'm gonna keep doing this way. I don't know how to explain it. It was crazy. It was a crazy feeling. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna hit with top 8 guys in the world. It can't get any better than this.
2 years ago was a highlight, 2 years ago was a highlight, last year was a highlight. You know, every time is like winning his first 25, winning his first ATP Challenger. So if Paris, yes, it was the biggest tournament so far, but if we look at where Holger were at that time, the challenges 2 years ago were just as big for me as the Masters, and the next step will be the Grand Slam. It will be big as well, but in my heart, and when I see the work behind and the feelings behind, the Challenger was as big as the Masters 1000.
It's never going to be a new Roger, new Rafa, new Novak. There's going to be a new player of a new person, so it's really important to keep your identity, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Holger is Holger, and he doesn't really try to be something he's not, and he's not scared to like show his character and show who he is.
I want to be a legend. You know, I want to be remembered as a great player, a great person, and a great athlete.
You're working your way there.
Yeah, I am.